All right, and we're live. Hello, wonderful community. I'm Roland, and we have a whole slew of wonderful fellow hosts with us today. You guys want to do a roundhouse, go through quickly, starting maybe with Burrito.
Alright, I'm Burrito Senior. How's it going? Yeah.
There's Halibos,
Hey,
Prometheus,
Good evening.
and last but not least, we got Spawn.
How you guys doing? I just want you to all acknowledge and admire all of the scarves in
Yes.
today's episode. Yes, they're
We
lovely.
wanted
Just
to
ignore that.
honor Halibos today, so we all found our favorite scarves and put them on.
The scarf episode.
The Scarf episode
why would you
2014.
Scarf episode.
day. I mean, it's Mother's Day and all, but I don't know how to say it, but I'm not a mother.
Halibos, you are our mother. And we also have Death with us. Not sure what's happening with him. He likes his technical difficulties.
He may or may not appear, and he may or may not be wearing a scarf. It's
He's
kind of
definitely wearing a scarf.
Schrodinger's scarf right now.
Yeah.
I may drop out of this thing in a while for like 30 seconds and come back, just letting you know.
Oh, there he is.
It's like the Pride. There we go.
All right.
Episode
Well,
brought to
Death
you by
is our
Scarves.
X Factor. He makes the show a little more interesting. But how about we start out and we get talking on the Bungie store. That got shut down for some updates and improvements, supposedly. So what do you guys expect? What do you guys want? I know I want one of my Marathon hoodies back. I never got that when it was in stock. So how about we start with Spawn?
I want a wristband, like those Lance Armstrong ones that just says Destiny on it. And it's got like a little Bungie logo. It's got like a tricorn. Hey, you tricorn, right? I want one of those.
I like corn.
Tricorn?
That's good.
Did you say
3 corn
tricorn?
better than 1 corn.
All right, so it's official. Burrito wants corn in the Bungie store.
I mean, I got the Bungie backpack, which, I'm a huge fan of. I still use it. But as far as items that I do, actually want, I mean, I really wanted those, class-based posters, the Warlock, Titan, and Hunter ones. That they were just so expensive, but they look so cool. Bungie should send me all of them for free all the time.
They were very nice. I actually
any?
don't really have any Bungie swag for some reason. I don't know. I never really got around to buying any. I would love to get some shirts and some hoodies. There you go. Dead Orbit's best orbit. Yeah.
That orbit is, in fact, the best of the orbits. It's true.
I can't control my pen in orbits.
But I would love to see. I like Burrito. I would love to see some of those posters, and I would love to see I don't know, just more Destiny stuff in general. More.
Do you guys know what a lithograph is? It's actually like a large poster. Sometimes you frame it. There's a really cool ones just all around, and they're actually you can have the artist sign it and stuff. I would love to see Destiny lithographs. We had the the first screenshot that we got back in 2012, late 2012 was that fallen Captain in the Snow scene. I would love to have one of those as a lithograph.
That
That
was
would be the
super cool.
coolest thing ever.
Yeah, concept art is always really cool. I have my own little piece of concept art that I got from one thing or another, but I'm also just in general very curious as a computer scientist to see how their layout for the store, changes. Like if they're going to make any sort of updates to the user interface and so on and so forth, or if they keep using the Amazon substructure technologies to do their thing. So.
Yes. Agree. Quite.
So am I the only one then? I mean, don't get me wrong, Destiny is great and all. I'm very excited. But I would love to see some older swag, some throwback things.
Sure.
Marathon, a little Myth. I mean,
Well, Bungie doesn't actually own Myth and Oni and stuff anymore, right?
doesn't matter.
Well, I don't know if they'd be licensed to do that. That's the issue. But Marathon is still theirs because we know, in the Bungie contract, didn't they have 5% of their company can work on Marathon or something?
The fabled Bungie contract.
I almost wonder if that's even a code name for something else too. Just because it says Marathon, what if it's actually something else?
It's actually a AAA version of QWOP.
Yeah, right. But I made a thread the
Swap
other
wasn't
day
triple
that's
net.
actually relevant to this, where I actually read the contract. So like a lot of us go on news websites, so we don't actually read the actual legal stuff. I
Sure.
found the contract online. I actually read it for the first time ever, and I found a part. I posted in the community forum, but it's kind of a niche topic, so people don't reply, so that's fine. But it said on there, after the second Destiny game, so Destiny 2, A Revenge of the Traveler or something, I don't know, and they make $375 million, that is the point where Bungie is allowed to reallocate their resources to other games. So they can't have 5% of their company working on a marathon game now. They have to wait until they meet a profit margin after Destiny 2. And so, but the other part is, in that section, it didn't actually specify marathon anymore, and I don't actually remember reading about the marathon part. I guess it's in there somewhere, but I must have just skimmed over it. But yeah, so that part didn't mention it, so they could be working on something else. We don't know.
It was right at the very beginning of Memory Serves, so it was just mentioned in passing, like, only 5% of their studio can work on other projects, such as, a projected possible next marathon game or something like that. Certainly, I think, Bungie has 10 years ahead of them. If their little prototype team that's just tinkering around in the background comes up with a really good idea, they're totally going to go for it, whether it's, marathon or a Pokemon clone. I don't even know.
Gnop too.
Pokemon! That's
Building
a
up the
great
hype
idea,
train.
Kyle.
It
No,
certainly
you gotta catch 'em all.
Real idea?
They could make a Pokemon based off scarves instead of keys.
All right, and Burrito's done for the day.
So I'm really holding out for Gnop 2. I felt like that was an underappreciated series, but I'll touch on that later in the lore
Too
section.
much strategy involved. Way over my head.
Dude, MLG Pro Gnop, that's where it's at, man.
I swear, every time I hear the GNOP phrase, I almost think of QWOP on a computer here. And so every time at LAN parties with Halo 2 and Halo 3, we'd have some downtime and be like, all right, let's just play QWOP, And of course, back then it was nothing, and so it was one of those throwaway games where you're just like, wow. So.
Yeah.
All right, so on the subject of new games, Bungie's going to E3 in a bit, and there's going to be lots of fun stuff happening there, but we learned that we're going to be getting the beta in July. So, who's excited for the beta?
Me.
I actually don't even have one. I don't even have a code for it yet.
I'm gonna masturbate.
I've been so damn busy that I can't.
Burrito, no.
Burrito, you're in timeout. Go sit in your corner. Take your scarf off.
Excuse me while I use Burrito for the rest of the podcast.
I'm excited for it. Yesterday I actually held a charity gaming event, and I did that yesterday because I want to do a big one when the beta comes out. So I'm excited for that, and just to get my hands on Destiny. But I actually need to get my hands on a code. I have just been so busy with work and other stuff that I haven't had time to, 1, buy an Xbox One, and 2, get a Destiny beta code. So I'm gonna have to go pre-order it sometime once that actually gets pretty close.
I'm actually super excited because I just saw this morning on Mother's Day here, there was a thread posted about a charity event that they're hosting in October. And that was actually the first thread. I don't know if you guys checked the community forum yet. The first thread where they said hey, we're hosting a Destiny event. Like we've had Halo and all these different things going on. But I thought it was actually pretty cool. I was like, wow, this is actually the first Destiny event that's actually going on. It's actually pretty cool to start seeing that now.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the Community Carnage we always do the Bungie Day thing, and I know I've headed that up for the last few years, and I've always planned on doing a Destiny one. And with the whole it's coming out in July thing, and with the kind of sketchy mention of July 7th this year, I'm kind of hoping maybe I can do a Destiny in the Community Carnage this year. I mean, that'd be sweet.
I'd be up for that.
Yeah. The only issue is that if they only release it to us then, or if PlayStation users get it, so I'm an Xbox One user.
PlayStation!
But I won't know how the party system works and stuff. And I hope we find out the player count before then, because there's a lot of unknowns here that I'd have to work around. But yeah, I'd really love to host a Destiny Community Carnage right away.
I don't think it would be terribly difficult though, because we just literally create a thread and just be like, hey, do you want to play Destiny with me? And then we'll get like 1 billion replies. I don't know.
But what if they all say no?
I don't know.
Well, it's still 1 billion replies. I
And
mean,
we make
what
them.
more you want?
But Prometheus got me thinking that since he doesn't have a beta code, there might be a few other people that may or may not have said beta code.
Prometheus, go type it in.
No, I made a
Prometheus,
pact.
don't be a jerk. I'm sure I can scrounge one up for you if you get desperate. But
Just type it in backwards and he'll get another code, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, I think we
That's
told
just
that
science.
story, but the first beta code I gave away, user didn't realize that it's a mirror image, and he typed it in backwards and redeemed a code. So there's some guy somewhere in the world that's probably just crying right now as we can't get into the beta.
Ouch.
That's ridiculous. No, I made a promise not to steal the beta codes from this. Though I did remember I looked through a YouTube video, like our first one, and someone posted like a month later. It's like, so I randomly typed in the code and it was still good. Why didn't no one claim this? I'm like, yeah, well, all right, good for you, man.
Well, we either have no viewers, which will crush my heart, or everyone already has a beta code, which I guess is a good thing.
Yeah, I do think it's our last one. Those are things are everywhere.
And don't forget, an additional beta code either lets a friend beta test, or it lets you beta test on an additional console. Like, I have 2 codes redeemed for
I also have 2.
currently Xbox One and possibly PS4, and I might grab a 3rd one for Xbox 360. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
We'll see.
All the
Yeah.
systems, Hal, all the systems.
Like, a lot of people originally pre-ordered back before the Xbox One and PS4 got announced. Like, I was one of the first people to do it that day, so I pre-ordered, put in eventually the beta console for, or the beta for Xbox 360, got an Xbox One, was like, alright, I guess I'll get another one for Xbox One. Pre-ordered, got that one. So it's not like intentionally, necessarily, but yeah, I won't argue about it. Now I can play with friends on both consoles. Except Roland, because he's a dirty traitor.
Burrito has friends.
Hey.
Oh, Roland. No, don't even get me started. Roland is just, he straight up left us.
He did.
Okay. This is a topic for another time. But as a broke college student, I could not justify spending an extra $100 on something I would never ever use,
You would
i.e.
use
the
it.
Kinect. No, I wouldn't.
You would.
You know how hard it is for me to turn on my PlayStation? I pick up this thing that I'm going to have to hold anyways. There's this little button right here, and I just push it. And suddenly, everything happens. I don't need my voice. I'm not
Good
that
thing
lazy, Burrito.
you don't even have to hold the controller with the
Burrito,
Xbox.
Burrito.
You're claiming to be a college student, yet saying you're not lazy. You have to pick one. This is
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Get it together.
Okay,
I'm not
I'm sorry. I'm a disgrace, and yeah. I guess
Xbox, blow up Roland's PlayStation. Yes. Did it work?
no, it didn't work. You failed, Burrito.
My Xbox doesn't always listen to me, I guess.
On topic, though, definitely one thing I liked is how in the weekly update, I mean, not that there was ever any question or so, but I just really liked how Deej went out and specifically said that, yeah, Bungie Day is something that everyone is going to be able to enjoy this year. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Free
always
data
nice.
for all.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing when I was talking about the Carnage, because that means it's not just, okay, beta comes out July 7th. Enjoy PlayStation, guys.
Burrito, you're just upset that you don't have a PlayStation.
I have a
All right,
friend
so-
who's going to let me use his PlayStation for the first, week, so I'm pretty excited about that. So I might have to get,
Oh,
another
so
beta
Burrito's
code
a
at some
great
point.
PlayStation user. All right.
We'll see.
Speaking of dirty things, there's a lot of dirty things hidden in Bungie lore, and I think we have our master Prometheus who's going to guide us through a little presentation of all these things. We thought that a lot of new users to BNet might not know. We want to make you all feel welcome. There's a lot of inside jokes in the community, and I think it's only fair that we introduce you to some of them.
Yeah, so I spent the morning, I've been here in the community for 9 years, which is a pretty good time. There are some people who are older than me. I joined back in 2005,
Don't be modest.
which is right, I think. Anyway,
Prometheus is
well,
old.
so what I'm trying to get at here is that there is so much stuff, like, 2005 is the late to the lore game. There's stuff going back to 96, I found. So there's definitely some crazy stuff in there. So I compiled the little presentation, and someone's going to complain to me about how I organized it. I just did like old, medium, or like middle years and new stuff. Someone's going to complain, but I don't care. So let's just get this started. So, all right, you guys receiving transmission?
Hopefully.
Is it coming through?
As long as we don't talk.
All right, so here's my little title page, Bungie lore, a rough list of all y'all's history. And we got the little Septagon symbol and the Bungie community thing. Anyway, so next page, early days. So here we got, I'm getting messages on my computer. Okay, so words and phrases within the Bungie community and Bungie site. Non facet facita nobis calcitrare vestrum perineum, which is a company motto in Latin. In English translation, it means "Don't make us kick your ass." Frog Blast Event Core is one you see around. That goes all the way back to Marathon 2 days. And by the way, I'm going to throw this up online and link it in the thread so anyone can download this and go through it at their own pace. Blam, we see, anyone in the forum sees that a lot, but actually goes back to, according to the Halo Wikia page, employees used to shout it when they hear tire screeches, hoping that cars would then collide. It also became a temporary working title for Halo Combat Evolved. So more words and phrases. There are acronyms everywhere on the site, on releases, on soundtracks, in games. There's like dozens of them. I grabbed 3. These are pretty popular ones. I would have been your daddy, but a dog beat me over the fence, and don't make us kick your ass, which harkens back to the motto. There are some like on soundtracks that people haven't even figured out yet what they even break down to. But it's good kind of going through some of them. Some of them are funny. Some of them are really inappropriate. But so we got people within the Bungie lore. The Bungie Princess is one from a long time ago. The first one was Alta Hartman, and she was like one of 2 female employees. So she became the Bungie Princess. She ended up leaving in 2007 to be replaced by Davina Chan. But after that, I haven't even heard a thing about the Bungie Princess. I mentioned it in the weekly mail sack, and Deej didn't answer, so I think they're dodging the question.
That just means you have to spam it every week until it gets answered,
Yeah.
like the
right.
narwhal question.
We need more flying narwhals. That's all we need.
So there's more people. The Disembodied Soul was if I remember correctly, was an early attempt at an automated moderating system, and it failed horribly. A bunch of people got banned for no reason, the wrong reasons. It was a mess, apparently. The history behind it is that a employee made a big mistake. I think it like mislabeled CDs or something, so they stole his soul and imprisoned it forever.
Yep, we talked about that in one of the early podcasts. Yeah.
Yep. There's also the webmaster. You see reference to him with the page 404. As you kind of see him, a little image of him. He's half a man in the suit and half alcoholic. He's a scapegoat for site-related problems and a bunch of other stuff. So he first appeared in 1996. So Frag Dudes is a good one. Bungie challenged the Frag Dolls, which is kind of a group of gamer girls. They're kind of obnoxious about it, but I don't know. So they got together a bunch of guys, and it's a really funny site. I recommend people checking it out.
It's actually still up right now. You can actually.
Yeah.
I just put the link in our chat.
Our truck. There's one for you. So I'm gonna screen share the site. Here we go. So here's the site of the actual Frag Dudes. It's just bungie.net/Frag Dudes with a Z. And you have like all these bios, which are really funny. Stinkles. Who else is here? Caucasian Asian. Some of this stuff is hysterical. Yeah, they just got all this other stuff like First Game Addiction, Venison, Where I Live, Over Yonder, just a bunch of funny stuff. It's kind of worth going through. There's an About Us section you can read up on them.
I'm curious how long it took them to create that website. I mean, it doesn't seem like the sort of thing you can just throw together really quickly with a template, unless like they borrowed the whatever the frag girls used, frag dolls.
I don't know. They that was back in the day. This Bungie did a lot more stuff. Not necessarily integrated with the community, but they just did more things.
It definitely seems like a bit of a try-hard endeavor, but yeah, it's definitely nice to see that amount of effort.
It's funny too because even with like groups on the old site, because when private groups and chapters were made, there was actually just a way to host LAN parties. Like that was the original intent. So people would make like off-site groups, somewhat like this, and just have all their information out there. And so it's actually pretty cool to see Bungie like doing that same thing, even in an unofficial way.
Interesting. All right, so. There's a couple more things of the Bungie community, and these are all old stuff. So there's the shaft, which was given to people who took on big projects, as in giving someone the shaft. And the number 7, everyone knows that 7's everywhere. And this is an interesting little factoid. Everyone knows 343 Guilty Spark, 343 is 7 cubed. When they moved to their Kirkland office space, they pulled some strings and got the address 434 as homage to the number 343.
That's pretty cool, though.
Bungie Day, 7th on the 7th. So this gets a little crazy. We have Ling Ling's head, which you'll hear mentioned a lot. I don't know the full story behind this. I think they found this poster of some missing dog head, like some lady whose dog got decapitated and someone took the head. So they joke about there being a dog in a jar of formaldehyde, which plays into their 7 steps of world domination, which I'll get to later. Where once the jar breaks, which it must, according to the lore, they will release a sequel to the award-winning game Gnop. So I was looking forward to that day. There's also Sawfish. Put Sawfish in water and watch it grow. Sawfish will be woken by water and look so alive. The Sawfish do not eat. Oz Bat Toy. Oz is also fun. So go check out that link if anyone wants some history on it. It's pretty funny. And there's a little picture from probably Zanzibar or Blast Resort where one of the signs appeared as a Sawfish head in some date.
I think it was originally in Halo 2. I think that was a Zanzibar. Was that original one? Yeah.
That looks like
that was Halo 2.
Yeah, that's Halo 2.
I remember Stash, I think it was, talking about the Sawfish, and it was something about, it might not have been him, but I'm pretty sure it was, that in any case, some Bungie employee just went into a dollar store, found this thing called a Sawfish, and there were tons of them, and brought it home because he thought it was kind of funny, and that's how it like became a Bungie thing. Like this one employee just found it, and he's like, yeah, so they're out of business now, and so you can't actually like find them anywhere. And I remember one forum poster saying, I just found one, and everyone was like super excited. And this was like 2008 probably, so this was a while ago.
I remember seeing this, yeah.
Yeah, and so that was pretty cool, but Sawfish apparently out of business, can't be found anymore generally, so that's sad.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff is just funny stuff employees found that became office jokes, and they spill out into the forums, so things like Ling Ling's head and Sawfish. Anyway, the Sawfish site's pretty funny. I won't screen share it, but check it out. There's some just really bad Chinese translations into English, which is where all these like the Sawfish do not eat. That's where that came from. Just bad translations, but it's pretty funny. So we got the 7 steps to world domination, which is how Bungie is going to take over the world. So back when I joined, I think they only completed number 4. And
yeah, I think that sounds about right.
I'm not sure if what Chinese food company they acquired, but they eventually recovered Ling Ling's head. They staged a bloody coup of their parent company, which was Microsoft, when they separated, lost the rights to Halo. And the last one, take over the world, shoot enemies into the sun with a giant slingshot. They don't talk about that one much. I know they allude to it, but I'm not sure. Knowing Bungie, they'll actually try to do something involving a giant slingshot. So.
I mean, do you remember back when Halo 3 was coming out? They had their physics test in Halo 3 was a giant catapult with Sergeant Johnson inside of it, and they would just shoot it at
No.
things. You
That's
remember
funny.
that? It was
I
the
do remember
funniest
that
thing.
video clip. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I remember there being threads popping up about how it was racist because they're catapulting the only like black character. But no, the whole physics, like I thought that was super cool, just because. I mean, they're shooting at one of their characters to see how the physics engine worked. I guess. Again, I'm pretty fuzzy on it. I just remember
So what they were doing was they were experimenting with new technology and such. This is the sort of thing that the prototyping team we were talking about earlier just does in their free time. They're like, oh hey, this is a cool new looking technology. Let's try and test it out and see how it coexists with our existing engine and such. So, hey, how are we going to test this physics engine, ragdoll physics? Okay, let's just shoot Johnson out of a cannon. It's really low budget. It doesn't need to look good. It doesn't need to be, shipped to an international audience or like, it can even be like buggy. It's just to see, hey, does this work? That's just like how the it's really amusing.
That auto tune.
I know, especially for something like that, it's kind of funny because once that goes public, like the internet just blows it completely out of proportion. So it turns into something that wasn't originally intended, and that's where it gets funny. As other people say, BNet gonna BNet, but
why is it gaming read?
Yeah.
All right, so he's got a couple more slides here. They get a little bit better. So the awkward teenage years of BNet, which this is kind of grouped as right before BNext. But so this is a site design kind of chronology, and man, I had some existential crisis going through some of this stuff. So the bottom left, that was the original design. That was pre-2004, I think. There might have been an earlier one than that, but I struggled finding that one.
it was like the beta of the new hotness, like way early.
So then we had the new hotness, which is top left, and when I saw this picture, and I had this, I couldn't handle it because it was so old, and I remembered that site layout when I joined BNet, and I just, it hurt my head. I couldn't handle the nostalgia. And then you had the new hotness, or the new hotness 2.0, which is kind of what we saw before.
I miss it. 2.0 come back.
I don't know. I don't understand why people miss that so much.
I just do. I spent
There is a
4
video.
years using that layout. I don't like changing.
I guess.
I'm gonna link this video for us. This is actually by TGP. It's actually just kind of a walkthrough of the very old site. This was like 2004, 2005. This was actually a video he made right before we switched over to like the Halo 3 era.
And-
So you can actually.
Ooh, that is old. I will stick that in the thread for
It's actually pretty
those
cool
that
to
want to
just
see it.
kind of watch him scroll through.
It is.
There is one also, I know we'll get to it later. Arbiter 5, he made one before we went to Bungie.next. He actually posted it. So we were talking about it, like, hey, you should make an archive video. So he actually jumped on and recorded a bunch of stuff. So in that vein, over to this new build, we did have an old video of like the ODST and the Reach build era.
Yeah, they took away a lot of features with BNext, but and they keep saying like they're gonna bring a lot of them back, like groups or something. But I miss a lot of the aspects that were taken away. Not that I hate the BNext as much as I originally did, which I did, believe me. But I just miss a lot of those features.
Well, the new website definitely is set up better for scalability. It's got like 1 billion people from Destiny. A lot of those features that are currently ignored and such, like the activity and such, it's going to become really, really useful. Though I feel there's still quite a bit of work they can do to improve the layout and such, and I'm very curious to see what the web team has been cooking for over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expect a lot of the new features to come in closer to Destiny. I rationalize that
Oh yeah.
if they're integrating stuff with Destiny, they're going to wait till the game's done and shipped, rather than making a big site change and then.
Well, I mean,
Destiny
the beta,
really.
again, the beta is coming up, and why not test out at least the stats and such, or at least basic group functionality.
Perhaps. Group functionality, definitely. I'm excited for that. Some other things, but
But the stats things will definitely, like, they gotta get those out because, like, most people, I know we've talked about this in a previous podcast, but Akronos said the vast majority of people that go to this site only look at the of their Halo stats. And so if Destiny is going to be as big as they say, they really need to, put that focus on the stats like as soon as possible, so people are like, oh, this is cool, I'll come back here when the game launches.
I'm sure they'll have plenty that will make us interested. They might even have like the mobile app ready for stuff. I mean,
that'd be cool.
It seems like the right way to do things, and who knows? Maybe that feature we talked about, where you can just queue up a big Carnage.
I remember that.
Surely the web team's eagerly watching this and just writing down all of our ideas. And
I
just,
go to bed and pray to Shrek for that every night.
Even more recently, we actually just saw a couple weeks ago, they did a facelift on DestinyTheGame.com, like the official game website. That got a whole facelift with video on there, and that actually looked pretty awesome.
Yeah,
so,
that was really nice, and they also cut out a lot of like the outdated stuff on Bungie.next. They had the entire Destiny section. They cut a lot of that out and moved it over to the other website, which in general just creates a better package altogether. I kind of really like it.
All right, but that Bungie lore, yeah.
All right, so
real
wrapping
quick
that up.
about site design.
Roping you guys back in, sorry.
You
No
guys
worries.
mentioned the mobile site or like the app, like just the forums in terms of site design.
What about it?
Well, it's new. It's different. It's like a new iteration. It's something different.
From like what they did when they first launched the app?
Well, yeah.
I mean, I love how you can get the forums on there and everything. And it'll be really cool, because I know back when they launched it, we had the I Love Bungie section. You can get you can get the unlocks and stuff, like the Blue Flames was the most popular one. You can get some
I want my wallpapers back.
Yeah, the wallpapers and stuff too, which were cool. Those were cool, but I'm kind of curious about. So they're integrating the app a lot with Bungie.net, and then we also know we have on our profiles the redeemed code sections. And we know we could also unlock things in Halo Reach through the app. Again, the Blue Flames, pretty much. And so I'm wondering if the app is going to be used to unlock those 17 codes that we've entered so far. I'm just curious how that's going to work.
On specially marked packages of Mountain Dew, there'll be just like little codes that you can just take pictures
Oh God,
of.
no. How? Why?
I thought it would be
Prometheus.
interesting
I'm curious about that high fructose corn syrup.
So
I like my sugar.
yeah, so we're getting back onto this. Last couple slides to wrap this up. You got the HFCS, which is the group for the ninjas, which are the forum moderators here. The general idea is that HFCS stands for high fructose corn syrup that is debated from time to time. The group is closed. You can't join, but you can go through the members list and see current moderators and moderators of old. You have Pimpsat C, which is a running joke from Bungie. They've used this as an April Fool's joke many years. It's been working titles for games. I got a picture of one of the screen fake Xbox 360 game covers. There's some good ones out there.
Prometheus, are you a fan of pirates or ninjas?
I don't know. I always hated that debate. I thought it was stupid. I'm not gonna lie.
Put them next to each other. It works out so well.
Pirates for the win.
I don't know. I never liked those debates. I think they got. I don't know. Anyway,
Because
it was like
ninjas
pie.
obviously
It was like
good.
pie versus cake, except for pie's better. But
What cake is better? What are you talking about?
both. So anyway, Tijuana Mamas. This is one of my favorites. They're these spicy pickled sausages. I see them in like gas stations every now and then. It makes me think of Bungie. It's your snack of choice. And on the package, it's just 300% hotter, but no one ever knows like 300% hotter than what. Like it's just we might never know. Maybe we don't need to know. We don't want to know. But there was a shortage in 2007 though. The factory that made them in South Carolina had an explosion, so they were out of Tijuana Mamas for a while.
It was too hot.
They tried to push the 400% hotter.
What is
boundary. Science, yeah.
Scientists hate them.
So then we got. Nope. There we go. A Ret 7. This is something I learned new when I was putting together this list. Is actually the actual name of Bungie Studios, like the company. It's a Ret 7 LLC, and if you do a Google searches, you'll see all these references to a Ret 7. Like there was a GDC conference where a Ret 7 presented, and you go in and it says a Ret 7, and then next to it says Bungie Studios Incorporated. So it's actually someone found it. It was this weird company
There
name.
was a
Someone owns that,
massive thread back in Halo 2 time, like where they actually searched for that name. It was actually over in the Bungie Universe forum, and there was a huge conspiracy theory of people like trying to figure out like what exactly was a Ret 7, where they were trying to like phone numbers and email addresses and things like that. Like people were just like going off wild contingency, like just trying to get any info they can, and then he came in at the very end and just locked the thread and said, no, this is actually blah, blah, blah. So it was actually quite interesting to see how that developed.
Yeah, whenever phone numbers get involved with like massive community searches, research parties, it never ends well, I think.
Yeah, well, here, I'll finish this real quick. The Darkness, which is a period between the loss of Halo and the production of Destiny, that's kind of what we're coming out of now. A lot of people complain about it. Honestly, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it was kind of frustrating, but I think that'll... it's recent, but I think people will be referencing it from years in the future, just since it's kind of like a big transition time for the community. We also had the vid docs, which came out around Halo 3, which are these little video documentaries, where the name came from. It's some really cool stuff on like game design and how they develop new things, as well as things about Bungie itself, like transitioning from Halo to Destiny. There's a good number of them. Check them out.
Now, do we actually know, you said Vidoc? Is it Vidoc or Vidoc? There's always this debate.
I've heard both. I've gone Vidoc. Because it's like a video.
It's a video documentary, because that's what I thought, but I remember saying that at one point and someone correcting me.
Why would you call it Vidoc? I mean, what?
It sounds cooler.
It sounds more French, which makes it more professional.
Oui, oui.
I guess.
Sounds
like something an off-topity would say.
Off-topic.
Damn it, off-topic.
Anyway,
oh boy.
So, vid docs, check them out, they're pretty cool. And then last, we have all the ARGs. I feel like I'm missing one or two, but the big one was I Love Bees, and it was pre-Halo 2. This was before my time, but when I learned about it, it was nuts. Like, Bungie mailed out these jars of honey to random addresses that had these floating cut-up letters inside of them, and you spelled it out, or you put them together and it came up I Love Bees, and you went to ilovebees.com, which was this website. It was it looked like just some lady's honey production site, and this was back in the 2000s of the internet, so everything was just like grid space, and
we were all on dial-up.
Yeah, but the website appeared hacked, and then slowly this information was released, and they had this big after party about it. It was pretty cool. I don't think they've never really come close to matching that. But it was also Iris and Compound Intelligence and pre-Halo 3 days, which is kind of just geared straight towards the forum. It was just an account that posted some cryptic stuff you had to decipher. That's how Foman became moderator. He led the Compound Intelligence group and
that's cool.
Spearheaded a lot of the crunching of riddles and information from that.
Which one of those was the one that involved like the telephone calls?
That was the I Love Bees.
Yeah, that was I Love Bees. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so they'd like call random payphones.
Well, it was based on GPS coordinates. Yeah, that were deciphered from the website, and at E3 2003.
Do that, didn't they?
Yeah, at the very end of the E3 2003 trailer, they flashed the website I Love Bees, and so it caused like a ton of people to like flood over to there. That's what really kickstarted that.
That's cool. I mean, we had a kind of an attempt at an ARG.
So, guys, I can think of an ARG that we missed.
What did we miss?
Well, there's a
Loopy.
Yeah, Alpha Loopy.
That was like a year ago. That's history now.
I saw a question in the weekly update actually about that. Some guy was like, I was doing research about Destiny. I came across this Alpha Loopy website. It looks really interesting, but we need a lot of people to like, get in here and solve it. And I just kind of like told him like, yeah, so that's from like a year ago. It was actually a really cool ARG where we had to get a bunch of people to like all log into this website at the same time and like it would trace out like an image, like a QR code and such, if you like melded all the images together. And I
think it
really
was-
enjoyed it, actually. It was really nice when it finally completed a day before Destiny was announced. We had that sound bite from Marty, and we had all those wallpapers and all that poetry and such, which was actually legitimately cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I forgot that because I was kind of during the time when I took a leave of absence from BNet, so I missed a lot of that stuff. But I do remember bits and pieces of that.
Yeah, it was definitely cool. I hope they do more stuff like that in the future. I mean, it wasn't nearly as large scale as some of those other ones that they did where they had like a professional company hosting the ARG and such, but just the little touches in games like that are always fun to get the entire community together to solve.
Sure.
What's really cool to think about it is it's not only, a lot of people think like it's only Bungie.net trying to solve these things, where there's actually massive amounts of, community orientation going on through like NeoGAF, and there was a huge thing on Reddit with that as well under the Destiny the Game board. Like, it was like a massive scale trying to figure this out.
Is NeoGAF even still around? I haven't heard that reference in years.
NeoGAF is. I
Yes.
lost my login for it, but I'm pretty sure that it's still around. Last I checked, which
It
was
is still around, yes.
half a year ago, I think I looked.
But I don't know if I really want them to do the everyone log in thing again, because they did that with Halo Reach too, where like you log in and you get a dot on this giant picture, and it eventually formed the whole Noble 16 and stuff. And that didn't really work out because not enough people logged in, and so I'm a little
I think
fishy.
I think a balanced approach, like things that individuals can excel at it and things that it takes a group, effort to do. I think that would be the best.
Yeah, you gotta strike a balance.
I remember with the login one you were talking about, they had to have certain people in each hemisphere, north, south, and east and west hemisphere. But you had like the northern hemisphere was done day one, the northwestern one, but no one logged in the southern hemisphere, so we were left like, Bungie, you don't have any fans in South America. Like, what do you want us to do?
That's why they're hiring so many, localizers and such. Like I know they got a one for I guess Portuguese, Brazil, I think, languages.
It's up to our one fan in South America to just control F5 a billion times.
Yes. Yeah.
With you, buddy.
It's probably based on the IP address, though. Whatever.
Yeah, I would love to see some more ARGs. I would love one on the scale of I Love Bees. Iris was kind of there. They had some cool moments where someone was walking in New York and they saw these picketers with the Iris symbol like on their signs, and they're just like what the hell is going on? Like, this is some Bungie stuff. Yeah, and that was a huge part of it. They had like pamphlets with a website on it and stuff. So I guess that one kind of got close. I was on like a week-long retreat at the time, so I missed it. Like the big chunk of it, I came back, and some people were like, Prometheus, like, where have you been? Like, you missed all this stuff. It's like, no, this is the worst time for it to start. But
shouldn't have left.
I know.
I know there's always opportunities for more stuff to happen as we're actually approaching, Destiny's launch. Because certainly the beta is going to be a ton of great publicity, but who knows what Activision and such wants to, do to market Destiny as we actually approach, release. Get all the casuals on board, so to speak. Like, I know for Gamescom they wanted to put a giant inflatable traveler on top of the hotel that Bungie was staying at, but the hotel wouldn't let them. As amusing as it would have been. I mean, they're definitely a lot of passionate people from what I've heard talking to Deej at PAX, and I'm very interested to see what they have planned.
So, speaking of PAX,
there we go.
I think that's a good transition into our last topic, I think. How about first we go, anyone here have any hopes and expectations for PAX?
I hope tickets.
Yeah, I hope I get a pass.
Well,
I hope they announce it soon.
Perspective, PAX this year would actually be about.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
About what?
About what?
What? Cliffhanger!
Panic!
What do you see? Tell me what you see.
But continuing on in Spawn's apparent absence, I mean, I won't be able to go, I think, for Friday this year, but I should be able to hit all the other days, assuming I get passes and such. So I'm very excited to see all that.
Yeah, it's just too dang expensive for me. I don't know. It's like
Well,
really expensive airfare.
I'll definitely be posting everything that happens to the forums. I mean, I'm sure Bungie has to be there. It's the week before Destiny launches. They might not have like a super huge event since it is the week before Destiny launches, and but it's their backyard. I mean, they were there last year, and it was cool to meet a lot of the people. Like I met Rocket Moose. Actually, he's a student that went to the same college that I did, and took some of the same classes I took from the same professors I took it from. So we were able to talk about that. And that was really cool. I mean, it's just really cool to meet people from the community. I met Chorizo. I met I met Roland briefly.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, who are you? Oh, I'm Roland. Oh, I'm Halibos. And then we were just kind of mingling, I guess. But it's great to put faces to people, and yeah, I'm definitely excited about it.
So I think on that note, I'm going to go in with my shameless plug. For all you PAX hopefuls out there, there's actually a PAX group up and open right now that I set up. It's just PAX 2014.
We can link it in the thread.
I'll stick a link in the thread, but if you plan on going to PAX, I definitely suggest getting in there. Myself and a few others usually try to organize a ton of things for PAX, be it get-togethers,
T-shirts.
T-shirts. Historically, we've had T-shirts every year, designed by Bywald, and he does a pretty fantastic job. And I mean, PAX just is a great time, and I know that even if you can't make PAX, there's a ton of us that are going to try to keep you in the loop anyways.
You can live vicariously through us.
Yes, you can live through us.
Can someone just wear a helmet with a webcam on it and with like a microphone, and then I can be there?
If the Wi-Fi didn't suck at the convention center, I would say yes. Something about like 100,000 gamers trying to access a single hotspot. No.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Here I was gonna hook up an Oculus Rift with a 3D camera. Really be there.
Yeah, sorry. I mean,
I'll just have to pre-record everything that I think is gonna happen. So I'll just make random "wow" comments, and then you guys can just walk around at random times, and it'll
Of course,
be like,
someone's gonna trip and fall and break their arm.
You should have one of those like little remote, like like those people that remotely work at the office through like
The
this little
remote
monitor with like a
presence units.
Segway thing.
oh yeah.
Why
yeah,
even bother with that?
so-
Just have a guy in the phone and tell him what sound effect to play. When like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, play wow.
We're just gonna get a loop of Burrito going wow, and we'll use that as an intro to every video. Wow.
Watch you get like stuck looping on like Dead Orbit is best orbit, and then we just throw them down.
Dead orbit is the best orbit.
All I know is I would make Burrito say the most inappropriate things. Like someone would like hurt themselves and break their arm, and I'd be like, press number 1. Like, Burrito would be like, that's hilarious. And it's like, God damn it, Burrito.
That's hilarious.
Let's not use Burrito. But yeah, I think that's all we have to cover for today. PAX hopefuls, keep your eyes out for the forums. Normally, I'm pretty good about guessing when those badges go on sale, but they've never actually not gone on sale before this point. So I have no idea what's going to happen. We are in completely uncharted waters. There is no precedent. I have nothing to base any guesses off anymore for when badges are going to go on sale.
This Thursday at 3 a.m. Calling it right now.
No.
Yes.
But the best thing you can do is just check up on the PAX site often. One of the biggest clues you can find as to when the badges are going to go on sale is they tend to take down all the things from last year. So if you suddenly see the website just change in any way, shape, or form, expect the badges are going to go on sale that day or very close to it. There's a PAX thread floating around the forum somewhere where you can sign up for, I'm going to do like a mailing list if I catch them when they go on sale. But I think that's it. That's all I can think of to say about PAX, aside from it's awesome, and you should all try to make it.
PAX badges are going to sell soon, trademark.
I was gonna try and make it, but then I realized it costed money, and I was like, damn.
You can always Seattle has a wonderful homeless population, you can mingle with them.
That is excellent advice. I will look into that.
Some of them are downright wonderful. I was in line waiting for a concert the other day in downtown, and there was one next to the line screaming at passerby, and then he'd joke with us, and then he'd go back to screaming angrily at someone, and then he'd make funny comments, and
Talk about how
shame I didn't have any money to give
Seattle,
him.
we're down on our luck, but we're downright nice.
He was actually a fun dude. Horribly inappropriate, but still fun. All right, so I think we have gone over our hour podcast that we usually do.
Not quite, but
Not quite. What are we at?
50 minutes about.
50 minutes? Anyone got 10 minutes of topic? Can we?
I mean,
force
I
out
could
10 more
do
minutes?
10 minutes of stand up or.
All right. So everyone who is fed up with us, you can leave now. Everyone else, we're gonna do 10 minutes of Prometheus stand up. Brace yourself. It's gonna be
I'm
awful.
gonna leave.
All right, no.
That's it. That's it.
Don't push a good thing. I think we're done here. Everyone have a great Mother's Day. Be nice to your mom.
Call your
Yes,
mom.
call your moms.
We love her.
we love your mom.
Especially
I love
Tommy's mom.
And if you did enjoy the podcast, post in the thread and say so, because we do like feedback and that kind of thing, and we like to know, have your support.
Burrito nailed it perfectly. I forgot to mention that we have a poll up in this week's thread in the community forum. We need your feedback. Do you want us to keep doing these live shows, or are you one of those people that just watches after the fact? Let us know. Heil, no one can see your monkey.
That's not true.
Everyone.
Okay, there's Heil's monkey, everyone.
So that's what you
Yes,
kids
sir.
got these days.
But yes, check out the thread. Say nice things about us. Say mean things about us. Doesn't matter. We like attention.
Thank you for joining us in the Scarf episode.
Can
Yes.
someone please pull up the link, like on a screen share that I shared earlier?
May the
Which
scarf
link?
be with you.
I have a scarf version of me.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's the picture I'm gonna use for the podcast. Don't worry. That's gonna be seen by everyone.
That's hilarious. You'll all see it.
Signing off. Bye.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Take it easy.